So we have some pretty major news. As you guys know, Nvidia has their LHR or light hash rate GPUs meant to keep these GPUs out of the hands of miners and into gamers' hands. But it looks like they've just unlocked even more performance in terms of mining for these GPUs, giving you up to 70% compared to around 50% before. This could be pretty major news and it's going to affect stock and availability, and not in a good way. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, Tiago here. Alright, so let's talk about this fairly major news development. Remember LHR or light hash rate? Basically, Nvidia said to keep these GPUs out of the hands of cryptocurrency miners, they're pretty much going to reduce the hash rate performance considerably. For example, something like a 3080 Ti had around half the performance, which while you could still use it for things like Ethereum and other coins, it basically meant that the power usage was just way too high for the type of performance you're going to be able to get out of it. So Nvidia sort of transferred most of their GPUs into the LHR and light hash rate type of manufacturing process. That includes the 3060, the 3070, 3080. The only one they left out was the 3090, and of course the 3080 Ti and the 3070 Ti already pretty much were released with this in mind. Now, if you guys remember, the RTX 3060 actually was supposed to have a cryptocurrency limiter that made it a lot less attractive for people that wanted to use it for crypto, and it was supposed to be the first GPU to actually go to gamers. But that particular GPU, just as quickly as Nvidia released it with this sort of limited hash rate, basically they released a beta driver, they say by accident, that unlocked the full performance of that 3060. The 3090 is one of the few GPUs that didn't get this LHR type of limitation. That's because it's a much more expensive GPU. It wouldn't really make much sense anyway, but the other GPUs all got it, and recently in the NB miner, they were able to release apparently 70% of the Ethereum hashing performance. Now, that may not be 100%, and it may not completely make people want to buy these LHR GPUs. Like if it was 100%, would definitely be a lot more titillating. You have to think, if they were able to do this much, what's stopping them within the next few weeks and months from figuring out these type of limitations even more, where eventually they may get it pretty close to 100%. I mean, the 3060 was supposed to have this limiter, and it pretty much mines at full capacity. So this could be sort of a telling sign for the future. I think these LHR GPUs did help a little bit with stock and availability. There have been 3080 Ti's on the shelf a lot longer than they would have been if they were not these type of GPUs. Now, you have to remember another thing that's also currently colliding with this: the actual price of Ethereum and Bitcoin and all cryptocurrency. It's actually pretty high again. It's reaching those record levels like it was earlier in the year. It's not quite there yet, but it's definitely not tanking, and that means that profitability for people buying GPUs are also going to stay pretty high, even though there have been changes with Ethereum lately that supposedly is dropping some of that profitability. Trust me, it's still very profitable. People are not giving up. Maybe for the last few months they haven't been buying as many GPUs just because of the really high prices like we had in May, as well as some of these limiters on the LHR. But if the crypto price stays high and continues to go up, and people can bypass these limited hash rate GPUs easier than they are now, and eventually they're 80, 90, or 100% efficacy as opposed to the 50% that they're supposed to be as Nvidia had that limiter, then I think we're going to be in trouble again for all of 2021 and most likely going into 2022 unless something drastically changes with these type of setups. Now, we did mention before there are various factors pointing to the high prices and GPU sort of limit in availability, but the cherry on top, the last thing that seems to affect the street price, definitely has to be crypto miners buying the GPUs, because for them, the more that they buy, the more money that they can make. So it's not like the typical gamer. So even though that's not the only issue, I want to make that clear, I'm not blaming them completely at all. It certainly is an issue that has a very rapid market fluctuation when things go well with Ethereum and there aren't any limitations. People buy GPUs at a much faster rate compared to a gamer or something like that. So it's definitely a factor, even if we see details how Nvidia sold maybe 25% to actual crypto miners powers of the GPUs, it's certainly going to be sort of a pretty big factor, and having light hash rate sort of not really be what Nvidia intended it, and it really releasing closer to full power now, plus crypto staying at a high price, could prove very troublesome for an already really difficult market. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you've seen this come up in the news. Remember to subscribe, smash that like button, and I'll see you guys on the next video.